Welcome to Africa in Harlem live from the village of Harlem. I'm Issa. We are very honored to have with us today New York City Commissioner of Small Business Services, Commissioner Jonnel Doris. New York City is scheduled to reopen on June 8th, and we want to make sure that Black and brown businesses are ready for that day. So Commissioner Doris is here to tell you everything that you need to know about that day. Thank you again for taking the time to do this interview. So what should businesses know about that day and do?
The governor and the mayor agreed upon June 8th, that's Monday, June 8th, to be the beginning of phase one of reopening. And phase one of reopening will include our manufacturing sector, wholesale trade, construction, agriculture, and retail businesses with curbside pickup and in-store pickup or drop-off only. It's very important for retail businesses. It's pickup, drop-off, or in-store or curbside pickup. So we anticipate that manufacturing is also going to be a big sector that's coming back. 37,000 companies. We're thinking about 32,000 construction sites may be opening. And so, look, we are very excited that we have the opportunity to come back. But the one thing that we say to everyone, and we want to make sure that everyone remembers, that we have to make sure that we're doing it in a safe way, because we don't want a boomerang effect to happen again and we get back to the same predicament we were before. So we want to encourage everyone, as we begin to open, please make sure we follow all of the rules that are being put out there. And some of those rules are, you have to stay 6 feet apart, okay, at all times. The store occupancy has to be 50% or less. And there needs to be daily healthcare screenings or checking employees' temperature to make sure everybody is safe and well. And then providing employees with free face coverings. These are some critical things that you initially need to know.
I know also that the city is offering to give face covering to. Is it still on the table?
I'll go down a few things that we are doing at SBS and the city is doing to help businesses rebound at this time. One of the things we have created is a hotline, a restart hotline, and the number to that hotline is active since Friday. The number to that hotline is 888. SBS for NYC. That is 888-727-4692. 888-727-4692. We're also going to provide one-on-one support via small business advocates and compliance advisors, meaning we will have a team who is dedicated to you to help you understand the rules, the regulatory requirements, but also to help you be an advocate for you. And the third thing we're doing is providing industry-specific guidance. Now, I said manufacturing, construction, retail, wholesale, all these are coming back, and you need specific guidance to know what to do. And we're making specific industry guides for you, and those are also available on our website right now. And also, we are hosting webinars, which is also important. We're going to host these webinars with our agencies, fellow agencies, to let you know under the rules again, what you need to do, how you need to go about being successful in the reopening. And lastly, I want to say that, we will and have already delivered a significant amount of face coverings. The city is providing face coverings. We do have a map on our website, nyc.gov. /business. There is a map that tells you exactly where it is, and you can go there and pick up face coverings for you and for your employees.
In the Black community, we have a lot of hair braiders and barbers that can't wait to reopen. And it seems from the list and the categories of businesses that are allowed to reopen on June 8th, they not there. So when can they reopen? When do you think they will be able to?
Phase two is when personal services like beauty salons and barbers shops will be able to come back. Now we're in phase one, and phase one covers the categories as I mentioned before, but then phase two have several other categories, and those categories also include personal services. Each phase is generally 2 to 3 weeks. So we're in phase one now. So generally speaking, we expect within 2 to 3 weeks that will happen. But again, we want to caution everyone to be sure, one, we have to listen to the State Department of Health, New York City Department of Health. They're the ones that are driving this. This is a health-based recovery and reopening. We cannot do it outside, or else we're risking folks' lives, and we want to make sure we do it safely. So that's one. And then the governor sets the parameters, and the city, we follow through. And so the governor had put phase two for personal services like barbershop and hair salons. We're hoping, again, that within 2 to 3 weeks that we will be moving into that phase. But that's the general timeline that we have right now based upon the metrics, the health metrics that we are reviewing at the time.
We saw that Black and brown businesses were very affected because, one, they couldn't have access to the PPP loan program from SBA. Then the EIDL was closed to most of businesses to just focus on businesses that were in the agricultural sector. Now, are you planning on doing anything for those Black businesses during this reopening phase?
I'm glad you touched on access to capital. Critical for Black businesses, for all businesses, but certainly acutely for our Black-owned business, because historically we've seen that the market, was discriminatory against Black-owned businesses, and even now getting credit or getting the resources, financial resources that these businesses need is difficult. And so what we have done is several things. One, we have a network of 40 lenders in our network as SBS, who actually we work with every single year to provide the resources for our businesses. So they are lenders, and we would help you facilitate that connection with that lender. The second one is on the PPP, it started off as a program where we knew a lot of businesses, particularly Black businesses, were not really getting an opportunity because of who we banked with. So a lot of the banks that Black businesses were banking with did not participate in the program and were not what we would say 7A lenders originally. So a lot of the rules have been changed until they allow minority financial institutions in. They also allowed CDFIs, community development financial institutions, into the program. And now we've seen that Black businesses and Black and brown businesses and minority businesses in general are being able to access the program. And then lastly, I'll say that recently there was a bill that came out of the House that went to the Senate, and the president signed this week, that changed the rules of the program, which is very advantageous for our Black businesses. First, it increased the number of weeks in which the employees can return, or you can fully staff back up, from 8 weeks to 24 weeks. That is critical because it gives you more time. As you know, and no one thought that the pandemic would have went on this long. And so now we're at 24 weeks where you're able to then bring back your employees so you can get the forgiveness provision of the law fully instituted, and you can get all those funds back. And the second thing is, we originally was pushing for a 50% overhead cost to be allocated to the loan program. And so it was 25%, meaning you can use 25% of the loan to pay for your overhead, utilities, and for your rent. But that's too low for New York City businesses and for our Black businesses. So we said, we've got to raise that, right? So we raised and pushed for the allocation. Our federal partners changed it. They changed it to 40%. So 40% of your loan, meaning if you get $100, let's just say, $40 now can be used for your rent and for your overhead expenses, which are critical for our small business. So we say that PPP has been revised and revamped, and we also help you connect to the PPP. We help you with a white glove service from beginning to end to make sure that you connect with lenders who can help you. And the last thing I'll say is the governor had issued the New York Forward Loan Fund. That's $100 million economic recovery loan program, low interest loans that will help small businesses, and particularly there's an emphasis on MWBE businesses to access that loan fund. And it's critical that they be able to access that loan fund. And one of the requirements is that you did not receive a PPP or any other funding. So that is a critical opportunity. And we also help you connect to those. So we connect to our 40 lenders, the PPP or any federal program, and also the governor's program.
The city was working on this new program for Black businesses, the NYC. Where are we now with this initiative?
We had instituted the first ever program of its sort and magnitude, established that last year at the Apollo, and one of its kind in the country. We had lines, I don't know if you remember, wrapped around the corner of folks wanting to come in and for us to have this great discussion around Black entrepreneurship. And so that program, as you know, we went through several meetings, community meetings, seminars, workshops. And so we heard from the community. We are in a process of creating the report and getting it out. There's several recommendations that came out from the Black entrepreneurship community, and we have put that in the report. We're about to potentially release that report and get it out to everyone. But certainly a lot of what was stated are things that we know, right? There's a lack of access to capital. There is a lack of networking, network opportunities. How do we connect with each other? Because we don't have, generally speaking, Black businesses don't have the same networks as others. And so we create those structures. Also about how do we have facilities in which we can come together to actually work. So talk about collaboration and the like. And we certainly want to make, and then opportunity, of course, where can they get additional business opportunities and facilitating those transactions. So the program is in full swing. We are operative. We recently had webinars with 100 Black men who has been one of our partners working with our BNYC program. We recently had several of those webinars with that group. I was on one not too long ago speaking to them about opportunities. And so the program is in full gear, but we are looking to do some real important things in the coming months ahead.
If a Black business is interested and want to know more about that initiative, what should they do?
It's very easy. You can always call 311. It's the easiest way to get to us. But you also can look online at nyc.gov/SBS. And when you go there, the program will be, all our programs are listed, including our BNYC program.
Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us. Do you have any last word?
We are excited to reopen. We are excited that finally, I know many businesses were really looking to get the door open to get back to work, but we just want to reiterate to everyone, we want you to be safe. We want you to be sound. We want to make sure that you are able to prosper here. And SBS, our role is to make sure that whatever is happening in the city when it comes to small business services, that we're doing it in an equitable way, in a way that is even for everybody, a way that you have an opportunity. Everybody's at the table, and whatever you need to be successful, we're here to make you successful. So please go on our website, check us out, nyc.gov/SBS, or anything specific to COVID. Again, look up, it's there. Anything specific about recovery, you can also go to nyc.gov/business, and the information is there. Our hotline is open right now. Please go online and look at our services. Give us a call on the hotline, and we'll be able to help you.